Welcome everyone to Caleb Watches Movies, the channel where I, Caleb, randomly select from one of the many movies that I own and I watch and review them for you. Unlike days like today where I'm not watching any movies, I'm ranking them, but I have a special guest with me today. And this is my wife. For those of you that remember from several years ago, this is Tammy.
Hi!
Say hi to, well, yeah, you just did. So, welcome, Tammy, to the show. This is my better half, my love of my life, my best friend, and she's here to talk about some movies today.
That I've probably not seen, let's be honest. I'm not the movie guru here. That's this guy. You talk to me about music all day, I'm your girl.
Maybe we'll talk about music in the movies.
God damn it.
I think you've actually seen a lot more of these than you think.
We'll find out.
Because a lot of the $1 billion box office movies, which is what we're going to be talking about today, I decided to... Jazz hands.
It was $1 billion.
$1 billion. Which, you know, I wish we had. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to talk about $1 billion box office movies is because I just recently released my 1000th movie review on this channel.
Crazy.
Like, can you think of, like, that's 1,000 things that I've done.
I still remember the first day you recorded in the basement.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember from the day?
Honestly, noises.
A lot of noises.
A lot
You're
of
like,
noises.
I don't know what he's doing downstairs. Is this what I'm going to be hearing?
Well, I knew you wanted to do it, but...
Right? Is this what he's going to be doing for the next 5 or 6 years? Oh, God.
It's been longer than that.
It has been. 2017 is when it started. So,
Wild.
1,000 reviews. So I thought I want to do a ranking video, and $1 billion box office is close to 1,000. That was my idea.
Just add some zeros. It's good.
It's a lot of zeros from where it was.
Just a couple.
And then I wanted to bring you back on because you came on in like February-ish of 2018 with our review of Deception, which is a movie that you love, that you studied in school. Mm-hmm. At least you studied the score, at least.
Yeah, I took a film music course in grad school, and that was one of them.
And you enjoyed being on here. I enjoyed having you.
I enjoyed doing this with you.
Right. And I wanted you to come back on. And I thought this would be fun because you don't know the list
I do not.
of all of the 55 different films that have reached $1 billion box office. 55 films, yeah.
People, you spend too much money.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of people. It's
mean,
not
it's
just one person.
I wasn't alluding to the fact that it was one person. I'm saying people, if you're earning $1 billion in the box office, think about that amount of money. Like, even if it's a ton of people, that's still a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. That could be going towards more important things.
Humanitarian
like
efforts.
World hunger and, battling diseases and stuff.
Let me get on my soapbox as I drink my beer.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
But here we are talking about movies. The thing that's the most important, especially when we get to the Oscars season, and everyone's like, oh, yes, what we do here is just so important.
I think talking about movies is still important, though. We have to have...
That's right.
We have to have the things that make us happy in life.
That's right. Mental health and all that stuff.
Yep.
Now, this list is the list of all the films that reached $1 billion within its initial box office. This is not adjusted for inflation.
Okay.
Because I'm, we're theater majors, so math doesn't work for us. Yeah. So I think, if we adjusted for, I think Gone with the Wind would be, by far the most profitable movie of all time.
It's also been out the longest.
Exactly.
Well, not the longest, but...
1930s.
Yeah.
So, but we're actually going back to 1993 with our first movie here.
Ooh.
And have a nice little tiered list from tiermaker.com that we're going to be using. There are 5 different categories.
They're not a sponsor. Maybe
and they're not a sponsor, but if you want to sponsor me, hit me up and I will gladly take your money. So will she. Because we share a bank account and we live and we're married,
Humanitarian efforts.
Humanitarian efforts. Help charity. Help
charity.
us. That's right. We are charity cases. That's right.
Okay.
There are 5 different categories, and first we're just going to go through the list, and we're going to see your ranking of your recollection of these movies. If you've seen them, if you haven't seen them, they're probably going to be towards the bottom. And then at the very end, I'm going to say, hey, what?
I said you don't know that.
But at the end, I'm going to say, hey, nice job, great effort, love your ranking. We'll save a little picture of that, and then I'm going to blow it up. and do my official ranking of the $1 billion box office.
You remember that
movies.
time I gave you a platform to share your opinions? Well, guess what? Fuck your opinions. I'm gonna change it all.
You had the opinion for the majority of this, and then at the very end, I'm just gonna blow it up and do my own thing.
Oh, that's fine.
So the 5 categories we have here is exquisite, which is one of my favorite words. Exquisite, which is like the top tier, like top of the top,
Okay.
the best of the best, ones that you love. Next tier is awesome, which that just goes without saying, just pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Good, like it's a nice standard movie. There's not much wrong with it, but maybe it's a movie that I'm like, one time is good. Meh is it definitely didn't appeal to you. Maybe you see like where other people have like a need for it or wanting to view it or something like that. And then the last tier that we have here is why. So I say the movie title and you go, why is this here? This shouldn't, well, how did this make $1 billion at the box office? And there are a couple on here, at least in my opinion, I'm like, how did this happen? But
I'm just gonna put everything in why.
why are you spending your goddamn money for that?
Humanitarian efforts!
God.
I probably shouldn't joke about that.
This video is turning into something I didn't think it was going to, but I like it. I like it a lot. So we're gonna kick things off here. The very first movie to earn $1 billion in the box office went back to 1993. You have an idea of which one that was?
No.
I'm gonna ask that question for everyone. Like, do you have an idea? The first one to make $1 billion legit at the box office was the Jurassic Park. The very first Jurassic Park. I shouldn't say the Jurassic Park, even though it's a popular thing to do now with movies. It's just Jurassic Park. But Steven Spielberg, all the dinosaurs, CGI was just out of this world. Still holds up today. Have you seen that movie? We're starting out strong right off the bat. You've never seen Jurassic Park?
I've
really?
seen parts. I've seen parts of it.
You've probably seen a whole bunch of memes of it too, and people using it.
When you've rewatched it, I've seen parts of it, but
Right.
I've never, I don't know, I never really got into it.
Well, and I guess think of the time. It's 1993, making $1 billion at the box office. That's freaking impressive.
Well, in 1993 too, I wasn't necessarily thinking about Jurassic Park. I was thinking about like, what the heck did I watch in 93? Scooby-Doo.
Hey, Scooby-Doo's awesome.
Which is hilarious because it's from like the 60s and 70s.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. I remember watching it for the first time with my family, back when we were a family.
Might want to cut that!
No, we're not cutting that. Oh, you haven't watched any of my recent videos, have you? Anywho, I remember us getting the VHS, renting it. No, we did purchase it. But we got to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, I guess, fight scene where he's eating all the people in the rain, and then Mom just shut it off. Like, nope, these kids are too young. But my older brother, I think, snuck back down afterwards and finished it, where Sam Jackson's arm is all bitten up and everything.
Humanitarian efforts. Dinosaurs need to eat too. I mean, they're not humans, but
episodes of the box office humanitarianism. Where do you want to put Jurassic Park when it comes to this tier?
So understanding that Jurassic Park is a super lucrative chain.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you would call it. What do you call it? A chain? Franchise. Thank
there
you.
We go.
Words.
There's a chain.
It's a chain. There's a chain of
one
films.
leads to the next one. Sure. It's a chain.
Anyway, I would say, even though I haven't seen it, I'm gonna put it at good.
Yeah, good?
Yeah. I think middle of the road, I feel like if you're talking about the first of a franchise, I think I have to at least put that one as like a baseline. I'm sure if there's any other of them on here, and I have a feeling there's going to be, and if they have Chris Pratt in them, they are going to not be on the good. So
yeah, you'll find out she does not like Chris Pratt.
I do not like Chris Pratt at all.
Chris Pratt is on here a lot, actually.
Oh, great.
I would say he might be like the most profitable actor like on this list, actually. He's on here a lot. So, I'm sorry. She does not like him. But yeah, I mean, the Jurassic Park in its place in pop culture, I don't know what I was doing there.
In pop culture.
In pop culture, it belongs, definitely belongs on the list of $1 billion box office. So the next one, we skip a couple of years and we go to 1997.
Okay.
What were you thinking in 1997 in terms of movie watching? have an idea of what film came out in 1997 that everyone
Titanic.
was talking about? You got it.
Yeah!
It is Titanic, the movie that changed everything for me.
It did not change everything for me.
No,
No.
Me it did. Because of boobs. Let's be I just remember sitting there in the audience and then seeing that painting scene, just like, oh yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh. We love that movie ever since. You've seen Titanic.
I have seen Titanic.
Yeah.
Yes, multiple times.
What you think about it?
I think so. I'm going to be pretty discerning because if something's going to fall on an exquisite for me, it has to be something that like hits me in my heart and tears it apart and like makes me gush blood out of my chest, basically.
Okay.
So
Like that.
I'm going to say that Titanic is awesome.
So yeah, Titanic is awesome. Okay.
And also, you can't go wrong with Celine Dion.
No, you can't.
My heart will That's gonna be horrible.
She studies music and she is
Studies
a
music.
musician. You study music and then you just, a professional musician now. Vocalist.
Couldn't tell
singer,
that out.
right? But yeah, so that was Titanic.
Okay.
Moving on to 1999, where all of the nerd boys all around the world rejoiced when we found out that Star Wars was getting another movie, because we had the 3 and then George Lucas was going to go back to the very beginning of things. So Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, what the Phantom is menacing, or what that title even means. I don't think anyone still knows what it means, but yeah, that movie came out in 1999. Definitely made $1 billion, because that's what everyone went to go see in 1999.
And they were sorely disappointed, I'm sure.
It's better than...
I
I remember the feelings of going to the theater and just loving just Star Wars. And isn't that just nice to remember the time when Star Wars was fun and everyone had a good time with it? And then as years went on, they're like, oh, the prequels suck, but what'd you think about it?
Never seen it.
Never seen it?
Well,
yeah, you did.
We did watch them all the way through, but I think I kind of checked out.
Well, I remember you coming home from work one day and you had already watched the prequels on your own.
Well, clearly they did not resonate with me because I don't remember.
Well, it was one of the hottest things. It was like, what? You
No.
watched Star Wars on your own?
I think I watched the original 3.
Well, you watched the original
Because
on your
I've
own.
definitely watched the
okay.
original 3. I don't think I've watched the prequels.
No, I thought
don't
you.
think
I thought
so.
you liked. I thought you liked Revenge of the Sith, but
No, I don't think I've watched it.
oh, okay. Well, you haven't seen it. Where are you going to put it on the list?
Meh.
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 Just from what you hear and what all the other.
Star Wars is hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but if I'm thinking about something I want to watch every day, I'm not going to go to Star Wars. I'm
Yeah.
just not. It's not my kind of thing. And that's not saying it's bad. It's not for me.
No, and that's kind of where I am with it too now. Like Star Wars was the go-to for me as a kid, but in recent years, and not due to the quality of what's being put out, I actually like the new sequel trilogy or whatever it's called.
Yeah, those were good.
But it's the fandom that's just killing me. About all of the fans who just hate everything and they trash anyone who has a different opinion from them. So, anywho, humanitarianism, yay! Next movie came out in 2001, a movie that is, I think, near and dear to our hearts because it's a franchise that we love to read, we love to dress up as, we love to talk about when it comes to our mentalities at work and how we operate ourselves. But Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone came out in 2001. Does that make you feel old?
I'm just kind of laughing at our mentalities at work part. I'm like, where are you going with this?
I know. I was reaching for something. I was vamping. But no, like your boss is like, hey, what house are you? So I can get a sense of who you are.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Harry
What house
Potter.
are you, Caleb?
I'm a Slytherin.
Yeah.
By the nice little tie in the background.
Yeah. I'm a...
You're a Griffin, Ravenclaw thing.
My Gryffindor and my Ravenclaw are like...
Yeah. But the first Harry Potter movie, or even the book, what you think?
I liked it. I was a weird age when they came out because I'm going to admit my age and I'm older than this guy. I was in high school at the time. So at that time, it wasn't super cool for me to be watching that. And I was trying really hard to fit in with the cool kids. I never did. And I'm really glad I didn't. But I would say...
Yeah, for me, in 2001, like, it was either Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, and I was a Lord of the Rings guy.
Yeah.
So, like, Harry Potter, like, nah, but then Lord of the Rings ended, so I was like, oh, let's check out this Harry Potter thing, and Harry Potter's actually really cool.
I have really good memories of watching it with my niece.
Oh, okay.
We watched it over and over and over again, because she was of the age where she could enjoy it. There's 7 years between us.
Gotcha.
I would say good.
Put it in good. So Harry Potter. Next up, I just talked about it, but Lord of the Rings came out in 2003. The final chapter, The Return of the King. I love that franchise. I love those books. It was not a big reader, and when it came out, like, I had to get those books read before the film came out, so it actually forced me to read. Education and humanity.
You picked a real tough author to try to force yourself through.
Oh my god! Spend like 2-3 pages talking about a field of grass and its importance and its history.
Yep.
Like, oh my god, just talk about the plot and the action. Where are we going? So, yeah. But you've seen Lord of the Rings.
I've seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we've watched it multiple times. What you think? This is where you wish I would have told you the list prior so that you would have thought ahead of time.
Yeah, because it's been a really long time since I've watched it.
Wizard, you shall not pass.
Cut.
Sir Ian. Yep.
Why don't we go with awesome, but after Titanic?
Awesome, but after Titanic.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to 2006. See, it's pretty scarce when it comes to the $1 billion box office. Pretty scarce in the early 2000s, definitely in the 1990s. But then as we get to like 2019, like every movie made $1 billion, and you'll see that here. But in 2006, the second chapter of the incredible creative process of Johnny Depp as one pirate, Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. This is the one with the octopus man and the Kraken. The Kraken comes out and eats Johnny. So, you remember that? Have you seen the Pirates movies?
Yes.
You have all of them?
No, I think I've seen the first 2.
Oh, so you have seen this one?
I have seen it. It's been a very long time. Yet again, I think I saw this last in 2006.
You're probably in theaters?
No.
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 You didn't go to the theater for this one?
No, it was 2007. Either way,
maybe.
but I saw it one time. I'm personally not a huge Johnny Depp girl. Not my kind of actor. He's it feels a little disingenuous to me sometimes.
Oh, so like he's making choices for the sake of making choices, or?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's coming from the character itself. It feels like it's coming from Johnny Depp. All of his characters feel like Johnny Depp.
Gotcha. I respect that. I agree with that, especially when we get to those Tim Burton films. Every character he plays, I think, is just the same.
It is not that I don't have respect for his talent, but just not my guy.
So, Dead Man's Chest, where's it going?
I think it's going in meh.
Meh?
I can't remember what else I put in meh.
Before Star Wars or after?
After.
After Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want, we can just put them all in the category and then we can go back and we can rearrange them for you.
Yeah, that might be easier because I'm probably going to change my mind as I see more.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. Moving on to our 7th film.
Okay.
Out of 55. We're moving right along.
We're going so quickly.
But 2008.
Okay.
Such an amazing year for films. I know we saw this movie because this is a movie I just couldn't stop thinking about. But you remember a little film called Dark Knight?
Yes, I do.
Just a little tiny movie that may or may not be plastered on my arm.
It's true.
The Dark Knight is, one of my favorite movies. My favorite movie of all time. What do you think about it? Have I ever asked you about this? I don't think I ever have.
I don't think you
I'm
have.
scared now. What do you think of The Dark Knight? Oh, it's a thumbs up. No. Okay, it's a thumbs up.
Yeah, I would put it at exquisite on my list.
It's our first one.
Yep.
First exquisite.
I like Christopher Nolan's style. A lot of his films are things that I really enjoy. I like that they're a little more cerebral. I like that they're character driven.
Have you seen Tenet?
I have not seen Tenet.
That's an inside the potty joke with us, and we love it.
Oh gosh.
But
yeah, I liked that entire franchise. And I just like Christopher Nolan's style in general. So yeah, I think I would put it up there. Just knowing I can't see what else is coming, but I have a feeling there'll be other things that I won't think are exquisite. And I like that film a lot. So
and where it took the superhero genre in 2008, where it was like, this isn't a superhero film, this is a crime mob film. Its expansion with IMAX. Heath Ledger as the Joker is still talked about today, and we both agree on this, that Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent,
excellent,
he's exquisite. Exquisite. But he's not mentioned a lot when it comes to The Dark Knight. We talk about Christian Bale and Heath Ledger a lot. Gary Oldman gets thrown in there too. But Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent and his turn, I think it's brilliant. And what we both realize is that the protagonist of that movie is not Batman. The protagonist is Harvey Dent. And that's what makes that movie one of the best Batman movies. And one of the best movies on this list. Yeah. Not to give away what I'm going to be doing to your list here in the end, but it's going to be towards the top.
No shit.
Yeah. The following year, James Cameron decided to give us a bunch of pukey CGI on the screen.
Is it Papyrus?
It is Papyrus. The first Papyrus movie. Avatar. Have you seen Avatar?
Yeah, we saw Avatar in the theaters together.
Did we?
Yes. Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
I think we did. If I didn't see it with you, I saw it with somebody else. But
I've never seen an Avatar movie in the theaters.
Then who did I see it with?
What have you been doing? What were you doing in 2009? I mean, we were both
planning our wedding
in undergrad. Yeah, we were both in undergrad doing a whole bunch of plays and performances and shit. So
I definitely saw it in theaters though. So if you're a friend watching this, let us know if I saw it with you.
I saw this movie with my wife. Please.
Because I don't remember, but I definitely saw it in theater. I remember seeing it in theaters.
So what you think?
It's not for me. It's not my kind of film. I respect it for what it is. I respect the innovation of the CGI.
Sure.
Like I truly do. But again, it's not my kind of film. I wasn't super entertained. So I'm going to probably hurt a bunch of people's feelings and put it at meh.
You put it at meh?
Yeah.
Cool. Meh. Avatar is meh. And I'm probably close to you on that. Because the CGI, groundbreaking for the time.
Yep.
Movie industry tried to get back into the whole 3D thing. And that was a huge film that they were springboarding off of. But yeah, when it gets to the plot and the story, it's very surface level, right?
Yeah.
Unobtainium and shit like that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. This thing that we can't obtain, what are we going to call it?
I don't know.
Papyrus.
Unobtainium.
There we go. I love that.
Okay.
Next movie, 2010. And we were just recently talking about this. Good old Johnny Depp doing a whole bunch of Tim Burton shit with Alice in Wonderland. Johnny Depp is bouncing around like a little bunny.
Didn't see it. Don't care to. Why? Next.
All right. I'm totally okay with that because I just recently watched it, and I watched it for this list. I haven't sought this film out just because I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, and I feel the same way. It was, meh.
Yeah.
So meh.
I said why.
Oh, why? I'm sorry. Yeah, why?
Don't take away my hatred.
I'm okay with it. I like it. Alice in Wonderland. Next up, also in 2010, this is kind of where the box office giants started coming out more frequently. I think. This film, nominated for Best Picture. One of the few animated films to be nominated for Best Picture. The third in a franchise. Do you have an idea of what it is?
No.
2010?
I'm sure I will as soon as you say it.
As soon as I say it, it's going to spark memories of you watching me bawl in the living room.
Toy Story.
Toy Story 3, released in 2010. We watched it together. What did you think?
I thought it was a really beautiful movie. I didn't watch Toy Story when I was a kid.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't watch any of the films until I was an adult. I feel like this is a lot about my childhood.
No, it's okay. It's a good therapy session. All those therapists out there are watching you and diagnosing you. It's okay.
They're like, this bitch is fucked up. But it is a really beautiful film. I think that any child who, or anyone who's like a burgeoning adult who had connections to things as a child that is like trying to let those things go and move forward, would definitely relate to it. I teared up. I didn't sob like a baby, but I think it's also because I didn't have that childhood connection to it like you did.
Right.
So I think for me, I would put it at awesome.
At awesome. Cool. Second tier. Yeah, for me it was, I remember you looking over at me when you started to make the realization that the toys, like, what's he going to finally do with them? And you I think you looked over at me like, is he going to give those toys to the little girl? And I couldn't respond because I'm just trying to hold back tears. I'm just like, but yeah, no, it's that giving up of the childhood, realizing that you could be a kid at heart, but you're growing into an adult, and you have to do that to just progress in your life. So,
but he's also paying it forward too,
right?
So it's not just like trashing it and moving.
Yeah, he's giving it to the next generation. It's that legacy passing on thing, which I'm a legacy is so important.
It's one of your core values.
That's right. Yeah. So Toy Story 3
for you indeed.
Yeah. In 2011. Well, I don't think you've seen this movie, but we'll briefly talk about Johnny Depp again. It's another Pirates film, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Haven't seen
the
it.
fourth movie that shouldn't have been made because they should have stopped at 3, but they were like, no, it made too much money. Let's put out another one. And everyone was like, yeah, I want to go see that. Like, why?
Well, I think you just gave me my category.
Well, there we go.
Why?
I'm an influencer, finally. Yay! I can influence people on this channel. Oh, God. We're going to get into some great movies for this one. In 2011, when we first started dating.
Yes, darling.
Yeah. I remember taking you to the theaters to watch a particular action film that, I was like, yeah, these are awesome. Explosions everywhere and a whole bunch of stuff.
I think I already know what it is.
Yeah.
Does it have something to do with like, and then they go, and they go,
yeah, it's a Michael Bay film, Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon. This is the one without Megan Fox, with the Victoria's Secret model. And Leonard Nimoy voicing the villain, which was actually kind of cool.
Did I watch this with you?
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did either.
This is the one where they had the things on the moon and they were destroying Chicago.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So
it's Transformers. It's Shia LaBeouf. What would you like to do with Shia LaBeouf in Transformers 3?
I just read something recently that people were complaining about his body odor. So that's like all I can think of right now when I think of Shia LaBeouf is that he smells bad.
I definitely get that. You watch the movie Fury, you know that, oh yeah, swamp butt happens with that guy. A lot.
All right, so Swamp Butt.
Swamp Butt, Dark of the Moon.
I haven't seen it, so I'm going to put it at why.
Okay. Why?
Why?
Cool. So also 2011.
Good year, apparently.
Good, very good year. At least the start of the good years. But this is a movie that we definitely watched. And we pulled an all-nighter watching this entire franchise before we went to go see the 8th film in this franchise. This is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
So, this is the first movie that I saw a midnight viewing of, too. Isn't it?
No, that was 6. We watched 6 midnight viewing. We pulled the all-nighter and watched all of them, and we went like mid-afternoon in that small theater in Marshall.
Oh, I liked that theater.
I did too.
I missed
I like
that
small
theater.
1 screen or 2 screeners like that in small towns.
Yeah, it's
But
nice.
yeah, Harry Potter, the final chapter, we see the death of Snape and all the other deaths. Actually, way more deaths in that book than there were in the final chapter of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Which,
What?
I was going to say, which gives it, I think, more gravitas and there's more stakes at stake, you know?
Steak.
Great movie reviewer on YouTube right here. What were you going to say?
Steak.
Steak. Oh my god, it's a steak.
I recall really, I say it like I haven't seen this in a long time. We just rewatched it.
Yeah.
I recall a long time ago. We just rewatched these a year or two ago, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely liked it. I'm not going to say it's exquisite.
Okay.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good conclusion to a franchise.
There are other films in that franchise that I prefer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was probably part of it was that we pulled an all-nighter and watched all of them. But when that film came out, like a decade of my life.
That was
watching
another
these
one that
people-
you cried during too.
Well, it wasn't that I cried during the movie, but also like I wasn't okay for like 2 or 3 weeks after. It's just like,
Yeah, I remember
fucking
us.
childhood's done.
Yeah. I remember us sitting and talking about that for weeks, about how you felt like the ending of that was the true ending of your childhood.
Right, like I'm an adult now. That's Harry Potter's over.
You were already married and moved
I
away.
was, yeah, but no, I was still a child.
I'm just a little
Child. Right. And then in 2012, we actually went to a late showing of this one. I think opening night, but we got matching shirts for it. And we tried to do that for everyone that came out. Probably one of the most important films to ever be released, especially on this list.
I already know
The
what
very
it is.
first
Avengers!
Yeah. What you think? We watched all the superhero films in theaters, but what do you recall of that one, or what do you think of the Avengers?
Well, I enjoy the Marvel franchise in general.
Yeah.
I'm more of a DC girl than a Marvel girl. But I thought that it was well done. I think that Marvel does a really good job of towing the line between things that are really heartfelt, but also comedic too, which I think for some is a detriment of Marvel, is leaning into the humor. But I think that's really what separates it from DC.
Sure.
And I feel like if they were both dark and gritty, I would not give a shit about Marvel. I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I would say it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a movie that people thought was not going to work. Because up until that point, a superhero movie just had one superhero in it, maybe sidekicks here and there, but the idea of taking different characters from their own kind of separate franchises and then putting them all into this one, like how is the screen time going to equal out, or these big time actors, are they going to be able to get along with each other? Because going up through the 80s and the 90s, it was all about egos, but here in the Avengers, no, all worked out. The screenplay was written perfectly, the transitions were great, and if that movie doesn't work out, the MCU just doesn't exist. It does not exist today. So definitely one of the most important films to come out on that year, but also later that year, a movie that I know we saw in theaters and a movie that I held your hand with because I was crying at the end because they finally gave Batman a happy ending. If you recall. Do you recall?
Is it Dark Knight Rises?
It is The Dark Knight Rises. That's why I married this woman. Yeah.
Well, he basically had to say Batman gets a happy ending.
Gets a happy ending. Yeah. Dark Knight Rises going up against Bane and shit.
Yeah. And I remember saying when I watched that film that I preferred it over Dark Knight.
I remember that too.
I don't think that holds up for me though.
No? Okay.
No. I think if I look at it now, if I step back and look at the entire franchise holistically, I don't think I can say truly that it's better than Dark Knight, but it's pretty damn close.
It is pretty damn close for me too.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So I think, God, everyone's gonna hate me. Like, she just really likes Christopher Nolan.
Fuck them. Christopher Nolan is a great fucking director.
Yeah.
If there's any director to latch whatever it, things to latch your things to, latch your reins to. That's it.
Is that it?
I don't know. To latch anything onto, it's Christopher Nolan, because his worst movie is on this list would be Good, and that's like Insomnia in my opinion. So, but yeah, Dark Knight Rises. Where are you gonna put it?
I think I should probably put it at Exquisite.
Oh wow!
I feel like if I thought when I watched it, after watching Dark Knight, and I watched that and I thought it was better than Dark Knight back when I watched it, I can't say that it's a tier below. I think it has to be somewhere near itself.
Okay.
But Exquisite's on a continuum, so we'll see what that looks like.
I'm totally okay with it. That's freaking awesome. Later on that year in December, you have not seen this movie, and I don't think you care very much for the character of James Bond, but it's one of the most popular songs, the Adele song.
Skyfall!
And the Skyfall!
I haven't seen it. And to Caleb's point, I'm not a big James Bond person. I just don't tend to, that's not my genre.
Yeah.
But I'll put it at meh.
Put it at meh? Okay.
Put it at meh. It's not a why. I understand why the franchise exists.
25 or 26 films.
Yeah.
Since the 60s.
Yeah.
And that's the only James Bond movie that's on here, though. So, like, since the 1960s, this one finally made $1 billion for this character. It's actually really cool. Following up the Avengers in 2013, riding that wave of big Marvel money, came out the third chapter in the Iron Man franchise, Iron Man 3.
I did not like that movie.
It's like, I know we watched it together. Yeah.
And here's why.
Uh-huh.
The kid.
Oh my god, the kid was fucking annoying.
I did not like the kid. I could not stand the kid.
Just
and I couldn't get past the kid. I remember us watching it and I was so angry at the kid.
Just shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
There's a reason why we do not have children. It's because when I watch a movie like this, I go, shut up, kid!
Why do we have a fucking kid in this? God!
Yeah, so it was not, that one for me as far as Marvel films is quite low.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's not like a horrible film. It just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. And its little twist in there of, we're promoting it's the Mandarin, and then it's not the Mandarin.
Oh, I forgot about that. It's Guy Ritchie. No,
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah, Guy Pearce is the extremist dude.
I always mix up Guy Pearce and Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. Guy Ritchie's the director. Actually, Guy Ritchie is gonna be on here.
Oh, neat. Yeah. But yeah, I know who I was seeing Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Because I was just seeing Memento in my head, honestly.
Yeah, he's got the horse mouth with the horse teeth. I don't know why I go into Stewie Griffin whenever I talk about Guy Pearce, but here he is. Mm-hmm. Iron Man 3, where does it go?
Meh.
Meh.
It's not a why. I think it needs to be a part of that franchise, but...
And then in 2013, the movie that came out that gave parents nightmares, a little movie called Frozen. And the parents listening to their kids wanting to let it go so much. We've watched Frozen. It took us a while to watch Frozen. So why? Why then? Is it going to why?
Okay, so
okay.
Let me talk about Frozen for a moment.
Frozen!
That was cool.
Yeah, it's a metal tin and my voice reverberated off the walls.
That's acoustics.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so speaking of acoustics and musical related things, Frozen had all the makings to be a really good animated film.
Uh-huh.
It had some really great actors. It offered up some voices that you don't get to hear as often, which is really cool. I actually like the very first scene in the entire film.
The
chorus scene. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I think the animation style is really beautiful. I cannot stand Idina Menzel's voice.
That's why we're married.
I cannot stand it.
Can't stand that performer.
As somebody who understands how the voice works and watching Idina Menzel sing, you can like her voice. Everyone is entitled to enjoy.
You can also be wrong, you know?
I won't go that far, but people have preferences on what they like and don't like with voices. But when I watch her sing, her technique is so poor.
Yeah.
Her tongue is like projected out of her mouth, like it rolls out, and it's actually choking off her vocal mechanism. So it comes out as this like pulled, strained sort of thing. I was actually just listening to Rent earlier today driving home because
I was listening to Rent 2 today.
That's really weird.
What the hell?
Well, I was doing
Well, you're singing it.
I'm singing a piece from it, yeah.
I was just in a Jonathan Larson mood.
But yeah, Idina Menzel in that, if she still sang like that, like 2003 Idina Menzel, 2004, it's a little better. It's a little less strident, but I think as she got older and her voice got bigger, I don't think she learned how to navigate.
Probably as she sang in Wicked, because that was right after.
Yeah.
Right after that, and it probably just damaged the crap because she sings terribly in that musical, in my opinion.
It's not my kind of voice, and I didn't like her for Elsa. I don't think her speaking voice nor her singing voice suit the character well. It just...
And from what I've heard as a performer, she's not the best to work with. She's late a lot, from what I've heard.
Man.
You know. So where are you putting Frozen?
So taking all that in consideration, if I removed Idina Menzel from this, I would probably put this at good. But because Idina Menzel is in it, it's going in meh.
Meh. Cool. Cool. So the next movie came out in 2014 is the only movie that I've auditioned for legitimately. You know what that is?
I'm trying to remember. Because you went through...
So I drove to Detroit,
Yep.
and it was like a 5-6 hour cattle call where you just stand in line outside of a hotel, like down several blocks.
I remember you doing this, but my brain always goes to your Book of Mormon audition because you had a call back.
Because that was around the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I went out because I just wanted to try it, to give it a shot. And I auditioned to be an extra in Transformers Age of Extinction. I was like, please, Michael Bay, please, give me a job, please. I didn't get it. And I wasn't in the movie. And the movie's dog shit.
Yeah.
It really is. But it made a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. And I don't know why, but it made a lot of money.
I'm not into the Transformers films. I haven't seen it. To me, after the first one, I was continuing to think, why?
Right. This is the one with Mark Wahlberg, the first one. Where he's like, hey, Optimus, say hi to your mother for me. Hey. Hey, Optimus, you're a car, then you're a robot. What's up with that? Why don't you just car the entire time? I just want to talk to you. All right, say hi to your mother for me. Come on, guys, talk about science.
So with that beautiful, beautiful Mark Wahlberg impersonation.
That's right.
I'm going to have to put that at why?
Why? I like it. Probably where I'm going to go with it, too.
Man.
Oh, party foul.
Yeah, we've been together for almost 20 years.
It's fucking true. I always take a chance. Anywho, the next movie I know that we saw in theaters, and I know you were not having a good time, and I wasn't having a good time
Star Wars?
to the... No, not Star Wars.
Oh.
That came out the next year, actually.
I just remembered, like, dying of heat in that movie.
Oh, right. Well, was it that one, or was it... Well, we'll get to it. But this movie came out. I was excited because it's one of my favorite books, but the film adaptation definitely pales in comparison to the book. J.R.R. Tolkien, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, Going Back to Middle-earth, Martin Freeman, and Andy Serkis playing Gollum again. Everything was cool.
Yeah.
But you remember watching this?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, God. Don't hate me, people. So I actually liked the Hobbit franchise more than I liked Lord of the Rings.
Really?
But here's why. I didn't grow up with Lord of the Rings. I can understand objectively that the Lord of the Rings films are better.
Okay.
Totally get it.
Oh, okay.
But I got introduced to that world as an adult.
With the Hobbit movies?
With the Hobbit movies. I watched those before I watched Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that's why I have a little bit more of a connection to that. It's not because it's a better film by any means.
No,
but
that's totally fine.
I think I would put that film at good.
At good?
At the good.
A nice middle tier. Right.
Can we move never mind. Nope.
Do it at the end? Okay.
Do it at the end.
In 2015,
Good
the
year.
7th entry in very good year. It derailed me. You derailed me. But speaking of wheels and automobiles, the 7th in this franchise, this made $1 billion.
I already know what it is.
Yep. Furious 7 comes out. Mainly, it's a memorial for
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, yes, thank you. Died in a car crash while filming the movie. And this was supposed to come out in 2014, but then that tragedy, that accident happened. So
And then they filmed with his brother.
They filmed a couple of scenes with his brother, which are actually probably the best parts in the movie. But kudos to the director, kudos to the producers, everyone involved in the film. They were like, yeah, let's take a year, because that shit fucked everybody up. And that was really sad.
Yeah. Let's
take our time with this and let's do this right. And yeah, comes out, makes $1 billion. Have you seen it?
Nope.
You have not seen it. But you know the story of what everything happened.
I just know that family is really important.
Yeah. It is really important.
Yeah.
So important. Where you want to put Furious 7?
So
That's my Vin Diesel, and it's pretty damn accurate.
I think I'm gonna put it at meh.
At meh?
Yeah.
Cool.
But again, it's because I haven't really seen it.
It's the Furious franchise.
I don't think I've ever watched any of them in their entirety.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should go back to the first one. They're stealing DVD players. That aged well.
My only interest, I feel like, in these films would be Ludacris, and he doesn't come in until, what, like 3 or 4?
Yeah.
I love Ludacris.
Like, I was trying to remember, and I'm like, what the fuck do I care? I don't care. No.
I'm going to put a plug in for Ludacris's TikTok. I mean, Ludacris clearly has far more reach than the majority of human beings.
Sure, yeah.
No, I said the majority of human beings.
Okay.
It wasn't just you. Ludacris's TikTok is one of the most wholesome things I have ever laid my eyes upon. Watch it.
We should rank that, I guess.
He does a little thing where he like meets this older lady who is like super obsessed with him, and he
Oh,
goes
that's
to her
right.
house.
That was so cute.
And oh gosh, he drinks
Such a
wine
cute
with
guy.
her.
It's like a super fan, and he goes to meet her. That's right.
It was really cute.
Ludacris, you're cool.
Yeah. Okay, moving forward.
Moving forward with the movies, the second in the whole Avengers franchise. It's Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015. No, we saw this one. Got the whole gang back together, and we got Aaron Taylor Johnson. We got Elizabeth Olsen. We got what's his name? Paul Bettany. Yep. It's like Paul Walker. No, he died. We just talked about him. Yeah. Age of Ultron. Remember this one? Or what do you think about this one?
I remember it. I really like Paul Bettany. I think he is really, really great as Vision.
He's great as Vision, yeah.
I found that the storyline between the Maximoff twins was not great. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver was not my fave. It's nothing to do with him. He's great.
He was just I hate saying that word in superhero films because it's overused.
He was a sacrificial
lamb.
lamb.
He was wasted in that movie.
Yeah, he was a sacrificial lamb, and then to come back later in the franchise and bring the character back as Evan Peters instead is really bizarre to me. And I'm sure there's some sort of reason, but
well, and they didn't even bring him back. It was Evan Peters was just a random guy in that town, and then when the spell lifted, he was just a regular guy. It's like, what are you doing? What? Come on.
Yeah, very strange. But I would say for me, it's probably good.
Good. We're going up to the good.
It's good. It's good to meh. It's good to meh.
Good to meh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good to meh.
Good to meh. All right. Next up, I'm excited for her to talk about this because she's never seen it. But when we first started this ranking, you said there were going to be multiple more. Jurassic World in 2015. Everyone wanted to see some dinosaurs again. And there's good old Chris Pratt for you. But they finally opened the park. Finally. And then they just redid the movie, Jurassic Park. Just in Jurassic World. Yeah, you haven't seen it. Where do you want to put it?
Why?
That's all we'll say about it. Why Jurassic World? I kind of feel the same way. And then also in 2015, it was the quickest one ever. And also in 2015, I mean, these guys could do no wrong. The movie itself wasn't great, but again, whenever they're on screen, they're just fantastic. But the Minions had their movie, and everyone loves the Minions, so it made $1 billion.
Did we see that one together?
I don't think we saw it.
I've seen, what was...
We saw the first two Despicable Me's, but we didn't see it in theaters. I think we just watched it at home. I don't know. I don't think I've seen the Minions. But
I don't think I have, but they're cute.
But the Minions, yeah.
They're cute. Is Gru in it?
He is, at the very end, he's like a kid, I think.
Oh.
No, this is a movie just about the Minions.
I know, I just like Gru. I like Steve Carell. I guess... Banana! Good.
That's what I was going to assume banana meant was good.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that year, we talked about it previously, but Star Wars tried to come back with Disney, and Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Is that the one with the annoying girl?
Who's the annoying girl? Felicity Jones?
No. I'm trying to remember the one that
There was Force Awakens, and the next year we saw Rogue One that you were extremely sick for.
That was the Felicity Jones one.
That was the Felicity Jones one.
No, the one I'm talking about is the one with
Oh, I know. Yep. That's also on this list, but that is not Force Awakens. She does not come into this one.
Give me a reminder of
the Force Awakens. Kylo Ren comes out.
Is this the first Adam Driver one?
This is the first Adam Driver one.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then Harrison Ford shows up and he kills him.
So
and then we were introduced to Rey, and we're like, "Who's Rey? What's all this?" And then at the end, she has amazing Force powers.
Okay, I remember this.
Yeah.
So first off, before we go into my ranking of this, Adam Driver is my soulmate according to TikTok filters.
It's true.
Yes. Apparently, I'm just
Your
promoting
soulmate?
my soulmate.
My soulmate. Hey, I'm Adam Driver. You want to go get some drinks, Tammy? Tammy?
I'm very uncomfortable right now. Save me.
You want to see my lightsaber? Where do you want to put Star Wars Force Awakens?
I think good.
Good?
Good.
I thought it was a fun revisiting.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed everything. Seeing Harrison Ford back as Han Solo, I thought was great. It was nice re-entering of the world that I missed.
Yeah.
Didn't think we were going to get it ever again.
And then you did.
Huh?
I said, and then you did.
And then we did.
And then we did.
Yeah. 2016, we actually just watched this movie pretty recently. Been out for several years. But Zootopia made $1 billion.
So cute.
It's cute. They're talking like social injustices and
it was a cute
unconscious
film.
biases and shit like that. My God. But yeah, a great movie.
Yeah, I think it was a good movie.
I think it's a good.
I think it's a good movie.
You think it's a good movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's awesome, but it's good. It's a cute film. I think it addresses topics that are relevant in the world in a way that's accessible to people. I think that was probably one of the catalysts for that to start happening in animated films a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was cute. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and they're finally making a second one.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like 10 years after, then they're like, oh yeah, that one made $1 billion. Yeah, I guess we'll make a sequel to it. Yeah, we'll do a sequel. Also in 2016, another Marvel movie. Marvel's on here a lot. In 2016, everyone just got so excited over heroes battling heroes. You remember Captain America Civil War, which wasn't really much of a war because there were like 12 people involved, but it's a war. And heroes are fighting each other, and it's like, oh, look at that. No.
Why was it Captain America Civil War?
That is the point. I haven't reviewed it on my channel yet. I will, but it's not a Captain America movie.
It's not a Captain America movie. And frankly, there are better Captain America movies as
by
well.
far. By far. This is the only Captain America movie on here, though, sadly.
Yeah.
But
it should be Winter Soldier should be on this list.
it should be, because that's the best one.
It is the best
But
one.
yeah, Civil War is not a Captain America movie. Now, if they would have called it Avengers Civil War, I probably would have been more favorable on it, because it involves everyone. But this is supposed to be a Captain America movie. This is more of an Iron Man movie.
Yep, I completely
More of an Iron
agree.
Man 4 movie.
This
is not Captain America's
agree.
story. So
it is not. And so for that reason, I would put it at good.
That's good.
It's good.
It still had good
still
dialogue. It had good performances.
Yeah, I would watch it again. Like, it's
Introduction of Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
such a precious little bean.
He's a adorable little kid. We'll talk about him.
The guy's like almost 30. He's an adorable little bean.
Yes, he is. Also in 2016, another sequel related to Disney about a tiny little fish swimming around the ocean. The first one didn't make it, but the second one made $1 billion, and that was Finding Dory. Finding Dory.
Never seen it.
Yeah. I just watched it recently for this review. This is one I skipped and haven't watched in 8 years, but personally, I thought it was an enjoyable movie. It was actually a great allegory for working with children who have autism, because she has such a short-term memory that she can't find her way home and can't remember where her parents were. But her parents, as the movie goes along, you discover that her parents were kind of like leaving clues, and this is how they were teaching her to deal with society and social norms and how to figure out a way to explain herself to other people and for other people to understand her, which I thought was actually really cool. So where do you want to put it? You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it at all. And so I'm going to have to base my opinion on things that don't really matter, which is Ellen DeGeneres, who I don't like. So we're going to put it at meh.
I respect that. And then back into the whole Star Wars world in 2016. This is the Felicity Jones, Stephen the Children performance, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I know this was just a terrible moving-going experience for you, because I felt you just getting sicker as you sat there. Like, you were fine, like you were okay, you were still upright when we went, but then as the movie just went along, you just slowly just shrunk and leaned your head on the wall. 2016. Would have been December 2016.
Yeah.
It was right around the time where I got extremely sick too. So
yeah, I remember being in the theater and it was so hot.
Yeah.
In December, and I remember, like, I typically layer up for the theater because I tend to run hot, and so I take off my layers and do all the things. I was down to a tank top and I was pouring out sweat, and we always sit on the walls when we're in theaters. He always puts me toward the wall because I like to be away from humans. But I just remember laying there the whole time, just...
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And I wasn't super into the film itself either.
Me neither.
It was fine. It was
So many people, Star Wars fans out there, say that they love this movie. It never appealed to me.
It was really
what
slow.
we were getting. It was slow. Post-production was not great because they had an ending planned, and then they were like, well, we don't want that. We want something else. So another director came in, changed a lot of things. It just, everyone just felt dumb.
I like Oscar Isaac.
Oscar,
right?
He was not in that movie.
Oh, am I mixing it up?
Yeah. You're mixing up the Rogue One with the sequel trilogy. Rogue One was the one where they were trying to steal the plans from the Death Star, and then Vader showed up at the end and cut a whole bunch of people down.
I don't remember.
Great. Where do you want to put it?
Why?
Yeah,
Mainly because why can't I remember?
exactly.
I swore Poe Dameron was in that movie, or am I just saying the wrong actor?
Nope. Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron. You got it right.
Okay.
But no, he's in the sequel trilogy. He's not in Rogue One.
But Felicity Jones is in another movie with him.
Nope. She is in Rogue One.
I swear that the two of them were on film together. I swear.
Maybe not in Star Wars.
I swear.
Mm-mm.
It's fine. You would know better than I would. I don't
Uh-huh.
know shit about movies.
Yeah, It's okay. We're getting there. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Yeah, he allotted an hour for this recording time. Bitch was raw.
We just like talking. We like each other, you know.
It's
kind of nice. I wanted you to be here. I love you.
I love you too.
Want to have you on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You like Beauty and the Beast?
I like the original, not the remake.
Yeah.
Is the remake on here?
The remake is on here.
Why? 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 Why?
The original is just so perfect. But yeah, everyone... This was the time where they were like, we're going to remake all of our classic cartoons into live action movies.
Lion King better not be on here, too, because I'm going to get real pissed about that one, too.
So Beauty and the Beast. We just have Emma Watson, who looks like she's just not entertained with anything. The movie made me want to root for Gaston. Like Luke Evans, he's the best part.
Luke Evans was the best part of that film, and Josh Gad.
And Josh Gad, absolutely. Yep. Luke Evans, hot as hell, great singing voice, and I want Gaston to win.
Yep.
I don't care about any one of these other. I remember the Be Our Guest scene, and all this fantastical CGI shit is happening, and Emma Watson is just sitting there at the table, and she's not reacting at all. But they cut to her, and she's like. Oh.
I don't find her to be an impressive actress.
No, outside of...
She's very
not
flat.
Even in Harry Potter.
Not even in Harry Potter. Yeah, no, she's vanilla. Yep. But this is definitely the epitome of a why movie to me, because there was no reason to remake it. So why did we do it?
No reason to remake it. No reason it made $1 billion. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then, let's go back to the cars, shall we? Yeah, we got the cars, and we're driving them around. This movie's called The Fate of the Furious, because it's the 8th movie, so fate.
Like F8?
And 8, yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. Look at the poster. It says F8, Fate of the Furious, because fate rhymes with 8 and language and words and things.
I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, no. I killed her. We're done. Fate of the Furious. The Rock kicks a torpedo because he's The Rock. Charlize Theron is here, and yeah, that's it.
I kind of feel like with these films, after Paul Walker died, why was there more? So I feel like I kind of need to put it at why, because I feel like why to me is like, why was this made? Why did it happen? Unless it has Chris Pratt, and then it's just why, because I hate Chris Pratt.
Also in 2017, we talked about the Minions. We've seen Despicable Me 1 and 2, but Despicable Me 3 made $1 billion. And I'm going to spoil it right here. That's one that I'm like, why? This movie's... It's just not good. It's pretty short. We have a couple of great Minions scenes in it.
Was that the one you watched at home and you were just sitting there the whole time like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this?
I think so. I remember... the Minions doing I Am the Very Model of a Modern Major General, and I thought, okay, that's great. But then, like, Brute, Gru meets his brother. His brother's like a little skimpy German boy. Trey Parker voices the villain in it, which I thought would be awesome, but it just wasn't. So, you haven't seen it, and I know you haven't seen it.
We'll let Caleb rank this one for me.
Cool. That's a why. It's so high.
That's so high.
And now we can talk about the girl from Star Wars that we hated. That a whole bunch of people in the world are like, oh, if you hate her, you're just sexist. No. Has nothing to do with that. She's a dumbass character. Rose in Star Wars The Last Jedi is one of the worst characters of all time.
I just didn't understand. I didn't understand the motivation for the character. I didn't understand.
Neither.
To me, anyone that's saying that you're sexist, is that what you said? That people say that you're sexist if you don't like her?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you don't like her, especially if you're a guy not liking her, you're absolutely sexist.
To me, the whole thing just broke the Bechdel test. So that was like the whole point, is that they were forcing her into this weird relationship that didn't work.
Yeah. It's like, no. And Finn is like driving towards the big machine or whatever. And he's going to sacrifice himself. And all of a sudden, here comes Rose. Crashes into him. basically dooming everyone before Luke Skywalker, before Luke shows up. And Finn is like, well, why'd you do that? Because you sacrificed yourself for the ones you love. Terrible character. And it's half of an awful movie. This movie is very much like BVS, where there's like half the people who are like, this is a masterpiece, and like, it's a complete dog shit. Last Jedi is very much that in the Star Wars community. For me, it's like half of it at least is dog shit, and that's all the Finn, Rose crap.
Which sucks, because I love Finn.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Finn as a character.
I enjoyed all the Luke Skywalker stuff, personally.
Yeah.
I think having that character just basically break down and become just a shell of himself.
A shell of himself.
A shell of himself.
A shell of himself.
Shell of a shell. And then find that inner hero once again before he becomes one with the Force. Mm-hmm. I think that's beautiful. I think that's wonderful. But the movie, it just doesn't work. It's
I remember us walking out of the theater and me being like, ugh.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What was it? They set up so many great things in Force Awakens, and this movie opens literally with Luke Skywalker with that lightsaber, and he just goes, Like, that's what they did. They took everything that was set up, and they were like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I think.
Sorry, I'm bleeding in on your review.
Yeah,
of this,
you may or may not have you're kind of
passionate about this one.
like guiding my decision making.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm thinking it's probably a meh for me.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Because I think that it does drive some plot points forward.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a why to me because there's some purpose to it, but it's not. I didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
Kind of want to forget it. But in 2018, we're moving right along here. Another Marvel, but 2018, big year for Marvel. And this one definitely outperformed all projections. We miss him so much. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, comes out in February 2018. What did you think about this one?
I really enjoyed the film. I enjoyed that film a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The best part of that film, though, was not Chadwick Boseman.
You are correct.
It was Michael B. Jordan.
It's Michael B. Jordan, absolutely.
As Killmonger, fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fabulous.
And you actually side with him.
Mm-hmm. So I think I would put Black Panther probably in the awesome range.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
Putting more up there in the awesome category. I like that majority of them so far were on like the bottom 3 tiers. So you have a nice little.
I'm also really discerning, and if I'm gonna choose something, I'm gonna choose something that means something to me or like really deeply impacted me.
Well, speaking of deeply impacting you, it impacted me, it impacted an entire world basically when Thanos snapped his fingers and you get to see Peter Parker just freak out at the end.
Oh God.
Avengers Infinity War comes out after Black Panther, so Marvel already made $1 billion with that movie, and then here comes Infinity War making tons more, and I mean, really just, in my opinion, knocks it out of the park with that character.
That one scene for me puts that in exquisite. Yeah. It does. I remember watching that in the theaters with Caleb, and we're both just sitting there crying. And you tend to be more emotional in movies, I think, than I do.
I do.
But yeah, I cried in that one too. And then
this movie ends. The movie is.
It ends with him after the snap, and he's just kind of looking over the world.
He's in his little paradise. He's in his garden.
Yeah.
Because he completed his task, he is happy. And again, it's another movie where our hero is not, or our superheroes, they're not the protagonists. Thanos is the protagonist of that movie.
Yep.
This is his mission. This is his goal. All the opposing forces are the Avengers. But Thanos just wants to get these stones to do his one very simple idea of how to fix things. I feel like there's other ways how you can fix and save the universe, but, you know.
But at the same time, though, if you step back, and trust me, I'm not saying that I think that 50% of the population needs to be snap gone, but there's a part of it, though, where I understand where he's coming from. The issue is that there's no discernment in who the 50% are.
It's all random.
It's all random, and so you could be eliminating all of the best people in the world.
And there's a young adult novel about the backstory of Thanos, at least in this universe, and it goes through him proposing that on his home planet of Titan, and he even, after he proposes that, he even offers, like, it's all at random. Hell, I'll even put myself in that pool of being dissolved away. But this will save our planet. So, but no, great.
Really good film.
I love it.
It's a good film.
So much. So Avengers Infinity War makes $1 billion. Okay. Then later on that year, Chris Pratt shows up again.
Why?
Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic World. Why do I care?
Why do you care? Yep. Fallen Kingdom, going into why.
You're going to have people in your comments like, why does your wife hate Chris Pratt so much?
I get, Google him and look up stories about how he treats his daughter and just how he treats
his
people.
Son.
His son? I'm sorry.
I thought it was his son.
It's his son. You're right. It's his son.
Yeah.
Movie-wise, though, Fallen Kingdom, I know you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, yeah.
But you watch a whole bunch of dinosaurs get killed because the volcano explodes, which is just sad because they're animals, and I can't do animal deaths in movies. But then, this is Jurassic World, right? We're talking about a world. And the climax of this movie takes place in this old rich dude's basement. And I am not kidding you. Where they're auctioning off like specialty breeds of dinosaurs and stuff.
Dinosaurs.
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 Ah, take dino DNA. Fallen Kingdom. And also, 2018, we did see this in theaters. We actually saw this with Lucretia. Incredibles 2.
I remember that being really cute.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
The little baby and the raccoon going toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Edna coming back.
I love Edna mode.
Yeah, Edna's great. No capes.
I feel like I'm a little bit of her on the inside.
I feel like everyone feels like they have a little Edna in them.
But do I have a little bit of Edna
You do have. You definitely have Edna in him, but I hear that all the time. Like, so me. No. But Incredibles 2. Oh, it's a great Fantastic Four film. No.
Yeah. Better than some of the Fantastic Four films.
Oh, it's better than all the Fantastic Four films.
Yeah.
So far.
I think I would probably put it at good, though.
Good?
I remember enjoying it. I remember us having some gigantic assholes sitting in front of us the entire movie.
Because they had kids that had their phone or iPad on.
Oh, I was pissed.
Motherfuckers. That's why we don't have kids.
It's true.
If we did have kids, they would
not understand
proper
movie
theater etiquette.
Yep, I was like, any sort of
damn it.
etiquette, yep.
Turn off your goddamn electronics, people. Oh. At the end of 2018, we saw this at the AMC Theater downtown.
AMC Theater.
Take a trip underwater with Aquaman. Hell yeah.
I didn't realize that was $1 billion film.
It is the only movie from this recent DCEU franchise to make $1 billion.
And it wasn't that great.
Think Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, huge superheroes, Aquaman.
It's because it was Jason Momoa.
Which is really cool if you think about it. Like, Aquaman made $1 billion. Like, how? But it's Jason Momoa, you're right.
And Amber Heard.
And Amber Heard.
Before Amber Heard was
Before
problematic.
Amber and Johnny went to trial.
I remember watching that movie and looking over at Caleb and going, that is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because
I remember us walking out of the theater like, yeah, she's freaking gorgeous.
She's...
And that's why she's here. That's why she's
in that movie.
That's why she's in the movie.
She was not good in it. She is not a good human being. I don't think. Clearly, I wasn't in their household to know what was going on with all that crap, and it's not my thing. But the movie to me was a little...
Very simple.
Yeah, I don't remember being super compelled by it at all. Yeah. So I think for that reason, I'm going to have to put it at meh.
Meh? Huh? Aquaman going to meh.
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Riding the train of Marvel once again. This little movie that we watched when I was, I think, coming off of being extremely sick in 2019. Mm-hmm. Like, we got a hotel room downtown. It was all nice. And then we went to see this movie. And I'm not trying to...
I'm trying to remember what movie we saw. I remember the
Captain Marvel with Brie Larson and a young Samuel L. Jackson. He went back in time and had both eyes for this film, and we had the scrolls.
And the best part of the film.
And the little flirkin. And little goose the flirkin. And the best part of that movie, best part of the Marvels that we saw last year. All the flirkins flirking around.
Those little flirkins are so flirking cute.
So flirkin cute. We love the flirkins.
Oh, I want Ray now.
He's probably running around upstairs like it's almost dinner time. Come on, guys.
My little flirkin.
But Captain Marvel made $1 billion because Avengers Endgame and Black Panther were massive hits the previous year.
It was not a great movie.
It was just very average, you know?
Yeah, it was not a great movie. I appreciated the female empowerment elements of it.
Sure.
I love seeing strong female characters because there were multiple.
Several, yeah.
Which was really neat, but I remember walking out and being like, that was pretty good. It was fine. I wasn't like blown away. If I could put it between good and meh, I probably would. But I think looking at the list and knowing what I've put in meh, I should probably also put this in meh.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's any better or worse than Aquaman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. Agree with that. But then, again, Marvel knocking it out of the park. Like 2019 was a huge year for movies. So many billion-dollar films. But this film, second highest grossing of all time.
Okay.
Avengers, Endgame. This is the one you were talking about?
Yeah.
Where we both were crying. Were you crying?
Oh, I cried during that funeral scene. Oh,
okay.
God. I just
Oh,
sat
the
there.
funeral scene. Yeah.
Oh, I ugly cried during that bitch. Woo, buddy.
See, I didn't cry during that one, but you know where I was crying. Because I was tapping your knee like, they're gonna dance. They're gonna fucking dance. I've been wanting this dance for so long, and he finally got it.
And the entire time that the dance was happening, it was tapping and then squeezing. Tapping and squeezing.
It's happening. Oh my God.
And that was one of those ones where I got teary because he was crying.
Aw.
More than it was
right.
that I was teary about the scene. But I knew that was something from the very beginning that you were just like, I hope that they tie this up.
They have to dance, and they got that dance.
I would say that one is an awesome to me.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed that film. I didn't enjoy it as much as
Infinity War. Okay. And that's a debate with a lot of people. Like, which one's better? I mean,
they're both really
great.
Quite good.
They're both great.
Yeah.
But which one do you prefer? Or for me, it's more of like a love letter to Marvel and to the series leading up to it, because you go back in time, you relive a whole bunch of things. That is America's ass and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is a remake, and it's a remake that I loved.
It's Aladdin.
It is Aladdin. Guy Ritchie actually directed this one.
Not Guy Pearce.
Not Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce was nowhere near in this movie.
Maybe I would have
no
liked it
white
more.
guys to be seen in this movie. But yeah, the live action remake of Aladdin. With Will Smith playing the part of the genie, and he knew what he was doing. Like, there's no topping Robin Williams from the cartoon, but next best person, I think Will Smith is probably the best person to do that, other than Robin Williams, which unfortunately he was not around during this.
Yeah.
But what did you think of that remake?
So I want to preface this by saying Aladdin again was not one of those films I grew up with as a child. Cracking open a cold one. I didn't watch the cartoon version of Aladdin until I was probably a preteen.
Okay.
I knew A Whole New World because my friends would always sing it. And I was always the kid that was always behind in all the movie trends and stuff, because that's just not how I was brought up. And watching the live remake was okay.
It was okay?
It was fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was visually beautiful. But sorry, honey, it's going to be a meh for me.
It's going to be a meh?
Yeah.
Okay, that one hurts, because I really did enjoy
I know you enjoy it,
one.
but it's, again, you have Aladdin's like your favorite animated film from when you were a kid, too.
Now, here's something that's going to get me shit for, like, I think I like the live action more than the cartoon, to be honest. I mean, I love Robin Williams and all that, but I just love, like, the representation of it, I think is fantastic. I love the side stories that weren't part of the original that they put in here. I think that was great. I love the actors and the actresses in it. I think it was just a better story. And stories, for me, story's the most important. So if that's the best, then I'm happy. But meh, that's your list.
It was fine.
It's fine.
You're going to blow it up anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
So this one is starring Chris Pratt, because I feel like it's the pause and the giggle.
No, there are paws in this movie, but it's The Lion King. But the live action version came out in 2011 or 2019. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The Lion King means a lot to you. The cartoon.
The cartoon is
the animated film. It's your favorite of all time.
It is my favorite animated
film of all time. And then that movie came out, and it's
I would say my favorite animated Disney film of all time. I wouldn't say
Okay.
it's my favorite animated film of all time.
Okay.
I don't know what my favorite animated film is, but I feel like there's something I would like more.
But this one comes out, and it's basically it's the exact same thing as the animated movie. Like, shot for shot. There are points that you're watching, and you're like, that's from the cartoon.
Which is cool.
It's cool, but it's also, like, if you're going to adapt something, or if you're going to remake something, there's got to be a reason why you're remaking it. If you're just going to do a shot-for-shot retelling of the exact same thing, why are we doing a remake then?
Yeah, here's what I will say. I think that it has a great cast. I think there are a ton of awesome actors and musicians in this cast. I don't know that it was necessarily cast well. I love Beyonce. I fucking love Donald Glover. Love Donald Glover. The amount of times I listen to Childish Gambino on a weekly basis is pretty high.
Yeah.
So it's not about them themselves and their talent. I didn't care for them in those roles.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me.
Spirit! It's the Beyonce song. Spirit! Just yells it constantly. Spirit!
I'm scared.
Spirit!
So yeah, I think with that in mind, to me, that is a why. And it's not because it's like the worst thing I've ever seen, but I don't understand why it was remade. I just don't. Like, I think that, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and it wasn't worth the money to me. We waited until we didn't see it in theaters. We waited until we didn't have to pay for it.
2021?
Yeah, I know we watched it during, like, when we were still
during the pandemic, yeah. That's right. Also in 2019, again, Marvel just knows what they're doing. I know there are a whole bunch of haters out there now of Marvel, but they know what they're doing. Spider-Man Far From Home comes out. We get the nice little introduction or reintroduction of J.K. Simmons back.
And this is the Mysterio one.
This is the Mysterio, yep.
Okay.
Flying around the UK. And Tom Holland's like, I want to date my girlfriend, but I can't because I'm Spider-Man. I want to be Spider-Man, but I also want to have a girlfriend too. Why is Jake Gyllenhaal being a dick to me? We saw this with a couple of friends in theaters.
Did we?
Yeah, we saw it with Trevor and Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have the worst memory when it comes to stuff like this.
Oh, then it's perfect that you're here and we've been talking for an hour and a half for this.
He asked the person who, whenever he watches movies, goes and reads a book to be on be on his channel. That's where we talk about movies. If this is Tammy Talks About Books or Tammy Talks About Music, then I'd have lots of great things to say, insightful things to say.
It's movies. It's my channel.
But instead I'm just sitting here being bitter about Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Who's not in this movie?
He is not.
Tom Holland is.
Tom Holland is.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say about the Spider-Man movies, though. And this is probably let me try words. This is probably an unpopular opinion. I find all of the Spider-Man films to feel very formulaic. They all have especially the Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Okay. Yeah.
They all kind of feel the same to me. They have slightly different settings, slightly different villains. Tom Holland as Spider-Man he's my favorite. I was going to say he's my favorite Spider-Man, but I really like Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield is the best.
Yeah. Look
at that.
No, you can keep that.
We'll keep that? Okay.
Yeah, see, you're actually doing web shooter, but...
Great.
I would say that film is probably a good for me.
A good Spider-Man. spit them in.
I remember being entertained. I don't remember being wowed.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what most people would say. 2019, again, a lot of films came out in 2019 that had $1 billion. And then, you know, the world ends with 2020 and the pandemic, and movie theaters are like, what do we do now? But 2019 saw the fourth film in what many people would call a perfect trilogy. Like, why are you making a fourth film? But Toy Story 4 comes out.
I haven't seen
which
it.
you have not seen. And you're probably all the better for it. Even though I think Toy Story 4 is a lot of fun and it's great in many parts. It did bring me to tears. I actually did a watch along on the channel. So if any of you want to go back and watch that, you can. But yeah, I mean, Toy Story 4, it hits all the right beats in my opinion. But you know, definitely doesn't live up to the main three. And there's a whole bunch of like, you know, not to influence your decision here, but like, you know, why are you making this? Why are you making Toy Story 4?
No, I think my answer is why though, because 3 ended so beautifully that why did you need to make
so
4?
So is it why did you make it, or why did it make $1 billion?
Both.
Both? Okay. Cool.
I don't know. I always feel like it's like the supernatural paradox. So like you have this beautiful show.
Oh, yeah.
Ends gorgeously at the end of season 5. Let that shit go.
And then we go on for
10 more seasons.
And then it ends.
More than 10 seasons, I think.
I thought it was 15.
Is it 15?
It was 15.
It may be 15.
Whatever. It ends on a terrible episode. So, also, 2019, got our nice little sequel to Idina Menzel and the Frozens.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it. Why are we putting it there?
Yep.
Also in 2019.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a huge year.
Y'all,
it's a big
y'all
year.
spent lots of money in 2019.
A lot of money, but there are a lot of great movies. And I feel like we both loved this one, but
don't paint it.
Okay. So this film came out. It's a film called, actually has a sequel that comes out this year. And people are like, why are you doing a sequel? It ended kind of perfectly, and it was very creepy. Joker. That's my Joker. I didn't win Best Actor. So.
You did not.
We saw this in theaters.
We did. We did.
I got I got bullied online for my favorable opinion on it. Yep.
Yeah, that was bad.
She was blocked.
Yeah, it was bad.
Uh-huh.
I recognize it for what it is, which it is a good film. I think that the subject matter is very dark. It's very twisted. It's going to be controversial. It's not palatable. It's not palatable. It's meant to make you uneasy. It's meant to make you uncomfortable. That it's not meant to, you know, give you a sense of like understanding or like oh, like poor baby, like I want to take care of you type thing, or maybe you're justified in all the terrible things that you go on to do. But you know, it just shows you a villain's origin story. Yeah. And just as heroes have origin stories, villains have those too. Yeah, and I think there's some parts of the film where they provide a more sympathetic lens to Joker, but I think that's important because if you just paint him as a lunatic the entire time, it's not character development. It's not character development. It's going to make it a pretty dull film. Yeah. But I think in my mind's eye, I would probably rank it at good. Good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix and how he's able to have different laughs in the film because he's laughing uncontrollably, but like if he's stressed out or if he's sad or if he's angry, he laughs. But in his eyes, you can see like tears forming and you can see like, no, I don't want to be doing this, but it's my nervous compulsion that I have. Yeah. It's a beautiful performance for Joaquin Phoenix, for sure. Yeah. And then at the end of closing out 2019, finally. I feel like an hour of filming has been 2019. Yeah. But the final film of our sequel trilogy, the one that apparently every Star Wars fan out there hates, but I remember us being pretty okay with it. The Rise of Skywalker came out at the end of 2019. I genuinely don't remember it. You don't? Remember Rey and Kylo Ren at the end
with their sabers and they're going up against Palpatine and he's shooting him with lightning.
Yeah, I now that you say that, I remember that one part, and that's all I remember from that film.
Yeah, it's kind of just a whole bunch of like, let's do this, and then this, and then this, and then this.
I think because of that, though, because I remember when we saw it that, yeah, I didn't feel disappointed by any means.
I didn't feel angry like so many other people did.
But thinking about it now, if it's 2019, that hasn't been that long since I last watched it, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember anything about it. I think I have to put that at meh.
Putting it meh. Good old Star Wars.
Probably would have put it at good in 2019, but if I can't remember anything about it, then...
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. And then 2020 happened, and no film has made $1 billion. For good reason. You shouldn't have been going out to the theaters, people.
Well, the theaters weren't open to go to.
Damn, well, some of them were.
Anyway,
Nolan was like, I want Tenet to go to theaters because it's my movie.
Have you seen Tenet?
I have seen Tenet. Have you seen Tenet?
I have not seen Tenet.
You should see Tenet.
This is such an inside joke between us
really
that
is.
he got a sweatshirt made for me that says, have you seen Tenet?
I love it. Have you seen Tenet?
Have you seen Tenet?
Have you seen Tenet? You should. So 2020 happens, nothing happens. 2021 mostly happens until the final movie of that year, which was like, hey, the movies are back. It's fun to go to the film. It's fun to go to the film. Fun to go to the movies again. We can do that, and we can see just our nostalgia just being vomited up on screen in such a beautiful and awesome way. Spider-Man No Way Home, where we see Tom Holland with our previous two Spider-Men, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, coming back and being their old Spider-Man best.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I did like that film, but I liked it because of the three Spider-Men.
Oh, that's why everyone went to see it. That they were like, I want to see Tobey Maguire back. Or actually, everyone was all Tobey Maguire. When it came to Andrew Garfield, I think everyone was like, eh.
Well, Andrew Garfield's kind of the forgotten Spider-Man.
Those movies were forgettable, but he was so good in them.
Yeah, if you go back and really just watch Andrew Garfield and his performance,
awesome.
He is really great
He's the
as
best.
Peter Parker. But I will say, holistically, I would probably put it at a good.
At a good?
Yeah.
At a good.
At a good.
Spiderman. Going to good. Right. So that's the only movie in 2021 that makes $1 billion. Kind of bleeding over into 2022. But 2022, we've seen the first one of this, which we're not fans of. But this movie comes out and just blows everyone away. And you're like, how are you this good? It's Top Gun Maverick. An older Tom Cruise being a younger character.
Mm-hmm.
But you have not seen this.
I haven't seen it. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Really
Every single person I have talked to has said it's an excellent film.
We don't like the first one because they just play the same two songs over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
It's like watching The Graduate.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They just play the same two songs. A bunch of people in underwear, playing volleyball, flying jets.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. But this movie has so much story, so much nostalgia, like good nostalgia stuff, fan service. So where are you going to put it?
This is really hard because I haven't seen it. If I find an average between what everyone says it is and me not having seen it, I'm going to put it at awesome.
Oh, wow. I like it. I love it.
Everyone talks about how freaking banging that movie is.
Yes. We should actually, after your performance this weekend, we should watch it next week sometime. Cool.
Thank you for saying that until next week, because I don't have the capacity right now.
I'm thinking about you.
Thank you.
You're my wife.
Thank you.
So,
My wife.
Let me just say the names so we can move on. Jurassic World Dominion.
Why?
Okay. It's a movie supposed to be about dinosaurs, but it's about agriculture. Nothing to do with dinosaurs. Humanitarianism! Just a piece of crap, that one. And then at the end of 2022, James Cameron comes back.
Avatar 2?
Papyrus 2. Way of Water, and how it flows like a river.
Never seen it. Don't care to. Why?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. It's one of those, like, CGI is just gorgeous. Your story, you've fallen flat again. You took over 10 years to come up with a solid story, sir. And again, you're as flat on here as the first movie. So surface level. Now moving on to 2023, we got a couple of hits. One that you recently just watched. Barbie. Barbie. Hey, Barbie. You're Barbie. I'm Ken. Just kidding.
Okay, controversial opinion. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
I understand it for what it is. Uh-huh.
Do it. Say it. You know you want to.
I just feel like it... I'm trying to use my words.
Yeah. You think about it and I'll just sing, I'm just scared.
That's not going to help me think.
Okay, I'm sorry. I remember you saying that, okay, I get the ideas and I get that we're putting, feminism out there and we're backing it. But there gets to a point where it's like, okay, so we're putting it out there. Now what are we going to do about it?
Yeah. I feel like when you weaponize... What I found with this movie is that it goes to extremes.
Right.
So I think it's really important that to lift ourselves up as women, we don't have to push other people down. There's a difference between equality and equity.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard your mouth going.
I went.
But it's not even feminism so much.
Humanitarianism. That's what it is.
Humanitarianism.
That's what it is.
No, like I'm a woman's woman. Like I'm gonna be the person that's like, hell yeah,
yes,
boost women, bring them up. And so I like that, but why do the men have to be ground into the dirt to do it? It pushed the line a little too much for me.
Yep.
And I think it was mostly because it was trying to be really funny and edgy.
Sure.
And I think for me, because I knew going into it what the idea was that was being portrayed, it rubbed me slightly wrong.
Yeah. And
it took away some of the heart for me.
Yeah, and like for me as a man, like I get what they're saying. They're showcasing like, okay, this has been like women's suffrage for so long. This is what women have been dealing with.
Absolutely.
And so now these male characters need to deal with it. So I totally get that. But then it also gets to a point like, yeah, okay, so what are we going to do about equaling the playing field here and making it so neither or no one has to deal with it? So Barbie.
Yeah.
Where do you want to put it?
I think Barbie was good.
Barbie was good.
It was good.
Barbie was good.
Yeah.
Then after...
So Barbie made $1 billion, but Oppenheimer didn't.
Very close, though. Mm-hmm. It was very close. Mm-hmm. And actually for a 3-hour movie about the Manhattan Project, building a bomb, it made just shy of $900 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was close.
Well,
like,
I knew that
they were happy.
Well, they were talking about, like, Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
So, I kind of assumed they'd be really close.
Which films need to do going forward? Like, instead of competing against each other...
Yeah.
Like, let's embrace the advertising together and
like Deadpool and Wolverine, and it ends with us.
Oh.
Anyway, moving forward.
Anywho, so right after that, like a month later, as we adjust our positions on here, because
I just got a little bit of energy.
That's right. But later on, again, here's Chris Pratt. But it's Peaches. Peach, he's so cool. And with my star, you're gonna rule.
Okay.
Super Mario Brothers movie.
So when Peaches came out, I sang that on repeat for probably a solid
Constantly.
4 to 5 months.
Holy shit.
Peaches,
Peaches,
Peaches, Peaches, Peaches,
Peaches,
I
love
yeah. Okay, but if I think back to that movie, the only thing I really liked about it was Jack Black as Bowser. The film, it was fine.
It's a fine little family film,
Yeah. To me, though, I think if I looked at it holistically, it's a meh.
Meh?
It's a meh. Yeah.
Meh to the Super Mario Brothers.
But Peaches, I was driving my coworkers nuts singing that at work.
It's still your ringtone on my phone.
Is it?
Whenever she calls me, you just hear peaches, 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 peaches.
I love Jack Black.
Jack Black is great.
Yeah.
We love him. And that's the last one that made it in 2023.
Okay.
2 more films
Okay.
came out this year.
Okay.
First one you have not seen, but I've told you nothing but great things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little animated film called Inside Out 2 or Inside Out 2.
Or Inside Out Spy.
Yeah, that's a German word.
For 2.
For 2. But yeah, so you haven't seen it, but all I can say is that I think it's a nice evolution to our character of Riley. She's growing up and she's discovering that emotions are way more complex than what they were in the first one. Because we were like, the first one's okay. But we know that the whole emotional spectrum is so much more complicated. But for a young kid learning about it, like, yeah, it could be that simple for a time.
Yeah.
But here she is learning that there's way more emotions, and those emotions are not good a lot of the times. But there's also a belief system so that she's developing. So she comes up with ideas of beliefs, and not through just religion, but through like, I believe I'm a good person. I believe I'm funny. Or I believe I'm a terrible person. I believe I'm a bad friend. And how those beliefs keep changing due to other emotions. I know you haven't seen it, but when I saw it, I was just like, this is just blowing my mind with how great it is.
I had a really, really bad day at work the day he watched this. And we went out to dinner and we were talking about it. And he looked at me, he goes, I don't think you were in the headspace to watch this right now.
Right, I remember that. Yep, I'm like, yeah, I don't think you should watch it now.
And me knowing that I know one of the new emotions is anxiety. Ennui is in there as well.
Embarrassment is another one.
Yeah, some of those things that for me as a person who struggles with mental health things and having really severe anxiety, I knew that I couldn't watch that until I was in a good place. Now I think I can watch it.
You can watch it now?
I can watch it now. But I think because I haven't seen it, you should put it on my list.
Oh, well then we'll put it up to... Ooh. For now, let's put it up. Let's put Awesome.
Okay.
Let's do Awesome.
Cool.
And then the last movie, to date, as of the end of August, there's always a film that could come out later this year that could reach $1 billion. Maybe Beetlejuice 2, maybe.
I could see that one doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, it did really well opening, and then Wicked comes out later. I could see them making $1 billion, but as of now, at the end of August, the last film to make $1 billion in its initial box office, and it's still going, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now that you mentioned it previously. Yeah, we recently saw this. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think to what you were saying with Avengers Endgame, it's kind of a little bit of that lip service to Wolverine. Like going
Wolverine
back
into the Fox X-Men films.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know there's some things I found a little painful. Mostly someone that rhymes with banning Natum.
Wow. Wow, Sugar, you towing the line there.
So here's the thing. Gambit is my favorite X-Men character.
Oh, Sugar, you ain't telling the truth now.
So, Gambit's my favorite X-Men character.
Yes,
Channing Tatum is one of my least favorite actors.
Oh, you put those two together, though.
They're going to
make a name for themselves up in here.
It was endearing. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was endearing, but...
When you look at the history, though, because he tried to get a Gambit movie made for so long.
I know.
So to see him, like, finally be
get to do it. Yeah.
You know, good for you.
And people from that area say that his accent's actually quite good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There's a lot of people that say his Cajun accent is
solid.
solid.
Good for him now, but yeah. Where do you want to put the Deadpool Wolverine?
I think I will put Deadpool Wolverine at awesome.
At awesome?
At awesome. Now it's time to blow up my list.
No, it's not time to blow it. Like, do you want to rearrange the order here at all?
So are we putting it, does it have to be like that, or does it just need to be tiers?
You know what? At this point, we've been talking for almost
2 and a half.
2 hours.
No, we've been talking for over 2 hours.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking. We can keep it like this if you want to. Do you want to adjust any of the rank levels here?
So let me see here. I think I should move Titanic up to exquisite.
We're going to move Titanic up to exquisite.
Because that was a film in my formative years that I watched over and over and over again. And so I think I need to give it its due.
Okay.
I think that I'm going to move the original Harry Potter up to awesome.
Awesome.
Just comparatively to some of the other things on the list.
Okay. We think we're good?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
That's your list. So way more Y's down here. Mixture of...
No, if you remove Chris Pratt from there, that was there.
So it's a mixture of Chris Pratt. It's a mixture of, hey, I haven't seen these movies. Or it's a mixture of legit, like, why? Why was this
I get
made?
real salty over remakes. I don't like it when films are remade just to make money off of consumers. It really bothers me.
It's a nice little staircase you got going on.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your list.
Have fun.
It's actually a pretty good list.
Thanks.
Outside of the ones that, like you haven't seen, so you just put it at the bottom. It was understandable.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be blowing it up that much, to be honest.
Oh, wow, really?
I don't think so.
I'm shocked by that.
I'm not going to put Titanic in exquisite.
So you would have agreed with me. Oh!
I'll put it there. I'm putting Lord of the Rings up there, because that was just
Okay,
an important movie for me.
So he put Lord of the Rings at exquisite. He moved Titanic down to good.
I'm gonna do a screen recording of it.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. We won't cut that. We'll keep that.
Let me narrate, goddammit!
You can narrate all you want. I'm actually gonna put
Rises to awesome.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Begins and Dark Knight are definitely exquisite. And I think Dark Knight Rises is just slightly below those two. Toy Story 3 is definitely going up here to exquisite.
Makes sense.
Awesome for Harry Potter. Avengers Endgame goes up to exquisite for me.
It was borderline for me.
I like... Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's go down to Y. Alice, let me go to meh, I guess.
Alice in Wonderland to meh. Okay.
Pirates, Stranger Tide, we'll keep it Y. Dark of the Moon, Transformers, I'll go up. I actually enjoyed that one. That one's definitely like... We'll go to meh. We'll just go to meh. Extinction definitely stays in Y. Jurassic World, I actually think was an okay movie, so I'm going to go to good with that one.
Here's the annoying thing. Chris Pratt's actually very funny and a really good actor. And a really handsome guy.
Like
I just don't like him.
Yep.
And I'm sure if I watched these films, I'd probably like them.
Rogue One, I'll say meh.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm going to say Y. Because in the end, I was like, why was this made? Beauty and the Beast, I'll keep in Y. Fate of the Furious, I'll keep the best title out of all of them. Despicable Me 3 stays. Fallen Kingdom definitely stays in there. Lion King, definitely Y. Toy Story 4, I'll go up to good with that one.
Okay.
Because watching it did bring me to tears. Avatar 2, I will go up to meh with that. Jurassic World Dominion, it wasn't a Jurassic World movie. And then Frozen 2, I'm going to put to meh. Because I think there are parts of it that were pretty good. I actually like Into the Unknown as a song.
That's
I
a
actually
good
really
one.
like that one.
I would agree.
Star Wars Phantom Menace, I'm actually going to put that up to good. Because I just remember watching that on repeat as a kid. Dead Man's Chest, I'll put up to good. Avatar.
My brain just went, Dead Man's Toes!
It's Halloween time. Dead Man's Toes!
Dead Man's Toes!
Skyfall, I'm going to move up to good.
Okay.
Iron Man 3, we'll keep it meh. I don't think it's terrible. It's just,
That kid.
yeah, that fucking kid. Who actually is also in Jurassic World. So.
Fuck that kid. Fuck them kids!
Fuck them kids. Frozen, yeah, we'll keep in meh. Furious 7, I'm actually going to move... I want to move it to good just because I don't remember much of the film. I just remember those key scenes of, like, the ending, basically.
I don't remember the film, but I'm going to move it from meh to good.
Because the ending was, like, oh, that's a beautiful little tribute.
You're fine, I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, I know. Finding Dory, I'm going to move up to good.
I know you liked that one.
Last Jedi...
You're pulling up the list more than you think you are.
Am I? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, I'm not bothered.
I'm not sorry. It's my list. It's my channel. I'm gonna do what I want. Anywho.
We'll let him have this little piece of control for now.
Damn right. Aquaman, I'm gonna go up to good just because I love DC and I love superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, honey, how's it going?
Good.
Captain Marvel, I'm gonna keep meh. I'm gonna move Aladdin up to awesome.
Yes, I
really
understand.
like that one. I'm gonna move Rise of Skywalker up to good.
Rise of Skywalker.
Skywalker. And I'm gonna move Super Mario Brothers up to good.
Okay.
If I'm looking over the good thing here, I'm gonna move Jurassic Park will stay. Hobbit will move down to meh.
Oh, wow.
Just because it was supposed to be 2 movies.
Yeah.
Like they had promotional material like this is going to be 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then as the first film was starting wrapping production, they're like, no, let's stretch this out into 3. And I hate what it stands for.
That's fair.
Jurassic World, I moved there. Minions. I'm going to move Minions down to meh, because the film was not that good. Force Awakens stays. Zootopia, I'm going to move up to awesome.
It's a really cute film.
I'm going to keep Civil War in good, just because with all the issues that we have with it, it's still entertaining. And it's, again, still good performances. Introduction to Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther in there, too. Incredibles we'll keep at good. I'm going to move No Way Home up to exquisite.
You're probably going to move Joker up to awesome.
I'm going to move it up to awesome, yeah. Barbie, we'll keep it good. And then I think all of those. Spider-Man Far From Home, yeah, we'll keep it good. Panther.
See, your list has a bell curve. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like with mine, it would have made sense had I seen everything, because then I would have been more objective, but...
Right. I think that's going to be my list.
Okay.
I like where that is. I have a lot more exquisites than you do, but I think all 6 of those movies, for it to be exquisite for me, it has to hit me here and here.
Yep.
Awesome can be like either or. Good is just like, oh yeah, that's pretty.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's solid across the board. And then meh and why, we know why. But yeah, those 6 movies and exquisite for me, like I could watch those on repeat.
All of them are stories. They're stories. That's exactly it. Stories. And the things that I really enjoy are more characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm always going to be drawn to something that's more about an individual character and their entire arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is both of our lists of all the movies that have made 100 billion.
100
Jesus
billion.
Christ. $1 billion at the box office. What did you think of our list? Do you agree? I'm sure many of you out there are going to disagree. And then let me know what your ranking is of all 55 of these movies. And comment below and let me know what you thought about them. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take and her take on movies, you
won't like my take.
You can hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell so you know the next time I'm making my next movie review. I'm tired. I'm tired. We've been talking for a while. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys. I love her. She's awesome.